Hello, everybody. Who wouldn't love a good historical adventure taking place in Scandinavia, the land of the Nordic gods and heroes? Well, we certainly adore anything that focuses on the Nordic myths and lifestyle and gets excited whenever a new series regarding the concept is announced. Even the Thor movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe have a special place in our hearts since they take their premise from the Nordic gods and mythologies. Still, despite the multitude of shows and movies in this concept, our favorite will always be the Vikings, a show that changed people's entire perception of Scandinavian folklore and way of living. Premiered back in 2013, the show lasted for 6 seasons and has created a genre of its own. This heroic tale also inspired many other shows with a similar premise, such as The Last Kingdom. And yet, still, Vikings is the one that turned into a legend that isn't likely to be forgotten for the decades to come. As you can expect, when there is a heroic tale, there is also the spin-off to tell a follow-up or prequel story, since it's almost impossible to mention every single thing within the scope of only one series. Therefore, when Vikings, Valhalla was announced by Netflix, we were not surprised. However, we were over the top of the moon because the ending of the Vikings in 2020 has broken our hearts, and we have missed the atmosphere of the show a lot since then. Initially announced back in 2019, it took 3 long years for Vikings, Valhalla to be released on Netflix. Officially, the show has premiered on Netflix on February 25, 2022. The showrunner of the show is Michael Hirst, whom we know from the acclaimed series of the Tudors. Thus, we already know that the show is in safe hands and will not disappoint us. The Viking adventure was taking place in the 11th century, at a time when some of the most influential Viking figures, including Leif Eriksson, Freydis Eriksdotter, and Harald Hardrada, have lived. Besides, the one name that changed the entire history of Europe with a single conquest, the Norman king William the Conqueror, also has lived in the same period. Vikings, Valhalla is focusing on the follow-up events approximately 100 years after the initial show. This time, the Scandinavians are invading England. Yes, you guessed it right, it's very similar to the plot of The Last Kingdom, yet another Netflix shows that we adore. Just like the original Viking series, Valhalla is also being filmed in Wicklow, Ireland. The show has an all-star cast with strong names, including Sam Corlett as Leif Eriksson, Frida Gustafsson as Leif's sister Freydis Eriksdotter, Leo Suter as Viking berserker Harald Sigurdsson, Johannes Håkard Johannesson as Harald's half-brother Olaf Haraldsson, Bradley Freegard as King Canute, the King of Denmark, Laura Berlin as Emma of Normandy, David Oakes as Earl Godwin, Caroline Henderson as Jarl Håkon, and Pollyanna McIntosh as Queen Elfjafu of Denmark. The trailer of the show proves that we will witness a series of blood, sweat, and tears that we got used to seeing during the original Viking series. Are we ready to follow a brand new adventure taking place in one of the most magical periods of history? Absolutely yes. We believe the show will have its second season in winter 2023, with a trailer being released around January 2023. What do you think about the Vikings Valhalla? Do you think the spin-off series has the potential to overshadow the original one? Do you think Vikings needed a spin-off series? Let us know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.